padam bhoja bhakti labhyo prema vidhano paramapumat tasmi jagan mangala mangala chaitanya tanaya namo namaste chaitanya tanaya ananda leela maya vigrahaya himavadivyo chavi sundara tasmai mahapremo rasa pradaya chaitanya tanaya namo namaste chaitanya Gannatam karmanishte nata samatigatam jattapa dhyana juge vairagi istagastastuti bhirapi na jata kirtan chapi kaschit Govinda prema bhajangapi natsakalitam jad rahasyam sayansa namneiva pradurasit avatarati pare jatratam naumi gauram Tanrayano Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila Saptam Parichet Shloka 5 Pancha Tattva Eko Vastu Nahi Kichu Bhedo Pancha Tattva Eko Raso Aswadite Tabu Vividho Vivedo Raso Aswadite Tabu Aswadite Tabu Vividho Vivedo. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Spiritually, there are no differences between these 5 tattvas. For on the transcendental platform, everything is absolute. Yet there are also varieties in the spiritual world, and in order to test these spiritual varieties, one should distinguish between them. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In his Anubhasya commentary, Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur describes the Panchatattva as follows. The supreme energetic, the personality of Godhead, manifesting in 5 kinds of pastimes, appears as the Panchatattva. Actually, there is no difference between them because they are situated on the absolute platform, but they manifest different spiritual varieties as a challenge to impersonalists to taste different kinds of spiritual humors or rasas. In the Vedas it is said, Parasya Sakteri Vivideva Sriyati, the varieties of energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are differently known. From this statement of the Vedas, one can understand that there are eternal varieties of humors or tastes in the spiritual world. Sri Gauranga, Sri Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Sri Gadadhara and Sri Vasa are all on the same platform. But in spiritually distinguishing between them, one should understand that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the form of a devotee. Nityananda Prabhu appears in the form of a devotee's spiritual master. Advaita Prabhu is in the form of a bhakta, a devotee incarnation. Gadadhar Prabhu is the energy of a bhakta, and Srivasa is a pure devotee. Thus, there are spiritual distinctions between them. The Bhakta Rupa, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Bhakta Swarupa, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and the Bhakta Avatar, Sri Advaita Prabhu, are described as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, His immediate manifestation, and His plenary expansion. And they all belong to the Vishnu category. Although the spiritual and marginal energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are non-different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, they are predominated subjects, whereas Lord Vishnu is the predominator. As such, although they are on the same platform, they have appeared differently in order to facilitate testing of transcendental mellows. Actually, however, there is no possibility of one being different from the other, for the worshipper and the worshipable cannot be separated at any stage of the on the absolute platform, one cannot be understood without the other. He is the personified spiritual bliss of Sachidananda Vigraha. His body is transcendental and full of ecstasy in devotional service. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is therefore called Bhakta Rupa in the form of a devotee. And Sri Nityananda Prabhu is called Bhakta Swarupa, the expansion of a devotee. Sri Advaita Prabhu, the incarnation of a devotee, is Leela Purushottama Sri Krishnankara Anubhava. There are also different types of bhaktas, or devotees on the platforms of neutrality, servitude, friendship, fraternity, and conjugal love. Devotees like Sri Damodar, Sri Gadadhar, and Sri Ramananda are different energies. This conforms to the Vedic Sutra, Parasya Shaktir Vivideva Sriyate. All these bhakta subjects taken together constitute Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. Subtle Tattva, confidence and subtle Tattva. Very difficult to understand. Do you understand? So, therefore it is said, this Chaitanya Charitamrita is postgraduate study. Postgraduate study. It is not for neophytes. Those who have not made any advancement in the spiritual path, especially in this Rasa Tattva. You understand? Excuse me. It's question of Mellow, yes, as it is said. Rasa aswadite tabu vivida viveda. Pancha tattva ekavastu nahi kichu veda. Rasa aswadite vivida viveda. This is most important. Rasa aswada. Hey, pila. Paluchu gade. Paluchu to asunu. To pai rahiche apekya karike. Kal paluchu utte asunu. Pancha tattva ekavastu nahi kichu veda. Rasa aswadite tabu vivida viveda. This is most important. This rasa aswadan, to taste the mellow, humors. Spiritually, there are no difference between these five tattvas. No difference. For on the transcendental platform, everything is absolute. Everything is absolute. So how there will be difference? No difference. No difference. That's what it says. But there are also varieties in the spiritual world, and in order to why? In order to test the spiritual varieties, one should distinguish between them. In Anubhashya, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur describes Panchatattva as follows. The supreme energetic, the supreme personality of Godhead manifesting five kinds of pastimes appear as Panchatattva. Actually, there is no difference between them because they are situated on the absolute platform. But they manifest different spiritual varieties as a challenge to impersonalists to test different kinds of spiritual humors, rasas. This is important. This is important, very significant here. Rasa aswadan. Test these humors, rasa. Otherwise, how can you get ananda? How can you get ananda? He is Sachidananda. You understand? He is Sachidananda Maya. Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vigraha. You understand? He is source of all ananda, all pleasure and happiness. And Jiva being is part and parcel, eternal part and parcel, is also ananda. You understand? Is also, but anu, minute ananda. Minute, anu. You understand? Anu Swarup. And if Jiva can get that, have that, Sachidanandamaya Vigraha, who is the source of all mellows and all ananda, completely filled with it, completely filled with that ananda, then Jiva can get ananda. Otherwise, how can get ananda? Ananda means pleasure and happiness. That's ananda, rasa. You understand? And that Leela Purushottama, Swami Bhagavan Purna Brahma Sri Krishna, is completely full. Leela Purushottama is Advaita Jnana Tattva, is only supreme truth, Paratattva. Do you understand? And his rasa swarupa is the form of rasa, the embodiment of rasa. And also his rasa pradata, he gives rasa, gives mellows. He gives. It comes from him. It emanates from him. Do you understand? So, when jiva can get that Bhagavan, which is rasa swarup, there is a form of mellow and ananda, then jiva can get ananda. Otherwise cannot get ananda. Do you understand? It is there in all Vedas, you see. Shruti means Veda says, Raso Vaisaha, Rasang Hevayang Ladhanandi Bhavati, Ko Hevanyat, Ko Pranyat, Jades, Akasa, Anando Nasyat, Eso Hevananda Yati. Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad says this thing. That means that Lila Purushottam Krishna is source of all mellows, rasas. Jiva, if Jiva can get that source of all mellows, Krishna, then he will get Ananda. And that is Parabrahma, is all pervaded. Krishna, his rasa swarup, his Parabrahma, is all pervaded. And if in that Parabrahma, in that Advaita Tattva, Bhagavan Krishna, if there would not have been any Ananda, then how there will be Ananda in this world or anywhere? Do you understand? And it is the expansion, the manifestation of that, of the Jnana Tattva Krishna. This material world is the manifestation of his external energy, and spiritual world is the manifestation of his internal energy. There's another Tattva, Shakti Shaktiman Abhinnam. He is energetic, and Aparasya Shakti Vividaiva Sruyate. That Supreme Personality Godhead, Krishna, he is energetic, and he has manifold energies. Manifold. Vividaiva, Vivida Shakti. And Shakti Shaktiman Abhinna. There is no difference between energetic and energy. No difference. But there is difference also. Non-different and difference. What is that? Further. It will come later. And why there is? There it is said here. Rasa sarite sattavu vivida viveda. Pancha tattva ekavastu nahi kichu veda. This pancha tattva, one thing, there is no difference. Isn't it? Spiritually, there are no difference between pancha tattvas. But, because transcendental platform, everything is absolute. But, rasa sarite vivida. Only to taste mellows, then varieties are there. Only to taste mellows, these varieties are there. Otherwise, there is no difference. In that sense. Here it is said in Taittiriya Upanishad, the same thing. You understand? You are asking where it is in Veda. This is in Veda, in Taittiriya Upanishad. That was your question. Do you understand? So it is here. In Taittiriya Upanishad and also Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, I quote, it's all Vedas. Upanishad, the topmost person of Veda is Upanishads. Do you understand? So it is said. Unless there is Ananda in that absolute truth, Purna Brahma, do you understand? Para Brahma, Paratattva, how can then there be Ananda in his manifestation? In this world or in the spiritual world. Therefore all were here. All are here searching after that Ananda. How can you get that Ananda? You understand? All are searching. Because Jiva is the minute part and parcel of that Paratattva Anandamaya Vigraha. Oh no. Shruti says that thing. Therefore, that Rasa Swarupa, he is Rasa Swarupa, Krishna is Rasa Swarupa, Leela Purushottam, he gives pleasure to one and all. He is the source of all mellow, all ananda, so he gives pleasure to one and all are in expansions. The most subtle point, confidential tattva is here, that as in 15th chapter Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mamivansa jiva loki jiva bhuta sanatana. Jiva eternally is my part and parcel. Then fragmental part and parcel. Anu, you understand? It's like atomic. Anu, ansa. Therefore, in Anu jiva, in atomic jiva, there is also some atomic ananda. But Krishna is completely full. It's completely full. But jiva, how can he get that completely full? Who is completely full, that Bhagavan, how can get it? Only through sadhan bhajan. Do you understand? In other words, through bhakti. Only through sadhan bhajan, when jiva will attain perfection, is known Swarup Siddhi. Swarup Siddhi. That means you can understand that I am eternal. Jiva Swarupa Hoy, Krishna Nitya Dasa, Mahaprabhu said, eternal servant of Krishna. Do you understand? That means at every moment, that means he can understand thereby that I am eternally attached, connected to that all blissful form, Krishna. So I am blissful. Ananda. That is Swarup Siddhi. Swarupanubhuti. He can realize his real identity. Who am I? That's my real identity. So one most important point is here, one can realize that first thing is I am not this body, I am spirit soul. This is first realization. And this is not sufficient. This is not sufficient. This realization is not sufficient. But Ananda is most important thing. I am the eternal part and parcel, fragmental part and parcel of that Anandamaya Vigraha. So, I am also Anandamaya. Do you understand what I say? I use these words. Here the specific word. So, in Tattva, if some jiva is fortunate by the association of sadhu and taking shelter of sadhu guru, can realize this thing, that I am eternal part and parcel of that Anandamaya Vigraha. So there is Ananda in me, therefore jiva searches about, searching here how to get that Ananda. But that Ananda is very minute in him, because he is minute. But when he realized that if I can be constantly attached and engaged, constantly attached to that completely full Anandamaya Vigraha Krishna, then I will release the full Ananda, complete Ananda. That is most important. Do you understand? And that is Tattvata Ananda. And how can it be obtained? It can be obtained only by the mercy of that completely full Paramanandamaya Vigraha Krishna. Without his mercy, it cannot be attained. Do you understand? It cannot be attained. It is his mercy is required. So, by the mercy of that Bhagavan is completely full, Sachidanandamaya, jiva can get some Premananda. So it is only Bhagavad Krupa, the mercy of that Lord. And this is the action of his Krupa Shakti. Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Sriyate, that Supreme Personality Godhead has manifold Shaktis, energies, and one of his Krupa Shakti. Then Krupa means mercy. His Krupa Shakti. His mercy is an energy. Mercy is an energy. Krupa Shakti. And this is the action of Kripa Shakti. Hladini Shakti. You understand? Hladini Shakti that gives pleasure. And Kripa Shakti is his merciful energy. His pleasure-giving energy is the merciful energy. Varied, manifold energies. And he is energetic. Krishna is energetic. And he has manifold energies. You understand? His merciful energies are there. Pleasure-giving energies are there. Marginal energies are there. Sambit Shakti and external, internal, Sambit, then divisions, subdivisions are there. Manifold energies. You understand? And this is why we always beg the mercy of that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because of his mercy we can get all these things. Otherwise we cannot understand this Tattva. This very confidential Tattva. We cannot understand. Only by the mercy of that Supreme Personality of Godhead we can understand. Only by the mercy of Krishna we can understand. Ishwarar Krupale Swayasidare, say Ishwara Tattva Buddhi Pare Pare. One who has been endowed with some mercy of that Krishna, he can understand Krishna. Otherwise nobody can understand Krishna. And this mercy is received through his most intimate servitor. Do you understand? Most intimate servitor, that is Guru, Vaishnava Sadhu. Guru Rupe Krishna Krupa Korein Bhakta Jani. You'll find this thing in Chaitanya Sarvama. How Krishna showers his mercy, bestows his mercy. Guru Rupe, in the form of Guru. Here in Pancha Tattva you'll find this, my Guru Maharaja said that Nityananda Prabhu appears in the form of a devotee, spiritual master. His Guru Rupa. In Pancha Tattva you'll find this Guru Rupa. Do you understand? Nityananda Prabhu appears form of devotee, spiritual master. His Guru Rupa. So Nityananda Prabhu is more merciful than Chaitanya. Do you understand? That you find. And Chaitanya involved, you see, Sudarshan days punish this Jagai and Madhai, but Nityananda Prabhu debarred. No, he is so merciful. You understand? Guru Rupe Krishna Krupa Korein Bhakta Jani. Therefore, Krishna bestows his mercy. That is the action of his Kripa Shakti, his merciful energy. And that is in the form of Guru. That is in the form of Guru. You understand? Yes. That it is said here in this Taittiriya Upanishad. That is the purport here. Therefore, Krishna becomes subordinate to his dear devotees. This is the action of Krupa Shakti. You understand? Krupa Shakti. Is merciful energy. Bhaktavatsala Bhagavan. It becomes Bhaktavatsala, is so affectionate, so dear to his devotees, and devotees are so dear to him. Those who take complete shelter of him, completely surrender, they become very dear to Krishna, and Krishna, out of mercy, by the action of his Kripa Shakti, his all beautiful form is manifested before such surrendered souls, all beautiful form. And Mahabhava Chintamani Sura Radharani is the embodiment of that Kripa Shakti. You understand? Radharani is the embodiment of that Kripa Shakti, Murta Vigraha. You understand? So Radharani is Kripa. Therefore in Guru Tattva you will find Guru is Radha Priya Sakhi. That is one facet. Two facets. One is manifestation of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is the manifestation of Guru. And another facet, Radha Priya Sakhi, dear girl companion of Radharani. These two things are there in the Guru. Nikunja Yuno Rati Keri Siddhi, that verse is there in Guru Bhastaka. And another thing in Brodaranyaka, Upanishad you will find, Idam Satyam Sarvesam Bhutanam Madhvasya Satyasya Sarvani Bhutani Madhu Ayam Atmaha Sarvesam Bhutanam Madhvasya Atmana Sarvani Bhutani Madhu Sa eva Yatma Sarvesam Bhutanam Adhipati Sarvesam Bhutanam Radha. This is Brodaranyaka Upanishad. That means this Parabrahma Purushottama, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paratattva, Supreme Truth, is Madhu. Madhu means literally honey, very sweet. Taste is very sweet. Do you understand? And you want to taste it. Mellow. All want to taste the mellow. In order to taste that mellow, these five prakasas are there. Rasa aswadite tabu vivido viveda. This is important here. Most significant. Why five manifestations? In order to taste mellow, taste that sweetness. Do you understand, Jagadatma? That is here. So it is all Vedic thing. Vedic Tattva. And your question last night was that, where it is? It is here. Do you understand me now? Huh? It's all based on Veda, Vedic truth. It's Vedic, very confidential. Everybody cannot understand it unless one has made some elevation in the spiritual path or grace. This is all there. Idam sattu sarvesam bhutana madhvasya satyasya sarvani bhutani madhu. Madhu means sweet, very sweet, nectarian. Madhu means honey, literally honey. Honey means sweet, very sweet mellow, a sweet mellow. Do you understand? These Pancha Tattva together, do you understand? They are the expansion, and that together they are testing and also giving test to others. They themselves are testing and giving test to others also, all jivas also. That is there, distributing this madhu, this sweet, mellow. Sarvesam bhutanam madhvasatmana sarvani bhutani madhu. Yeah. Sarvesa bhuta, all living entities are also, in that sense, they are the eternal part and parcel of that honey, that sweet mellow. So they are also madhu. They are also that sweet mellow. All living entities also. Do you understand? Because they are eternal part. And this Paramatma, this super soul or supreme personal Godhead, is that mellow madhu of all the living entities, and all the living entities are also his madhu. Do you understand? This sloka mantra says like that. And then it says, Sarvesam bhutana adhipati, Sarvesam bhutana raja. The supreme truth, Paramatma, is Raja, like king, is supreme master of all the living entities. Then again, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Esosyaha paramanando iti sevanando syanyani bhutani matra upajivanti. This Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says. That means, what Gita says, the same thing. Mami vansa jiva loki jiva bhuta sanatana. This Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says the same thing. Esosya paramananda iti sevananda syanyani bhutani matra upajivanti. In this mantra it is said that all these living entities are the fragmental part and parcel of that Ananda Swarupa, completely Ananda Swarupa Bhagavan, who is completely full of mellow and pleasure. This Jiva, all the Jivas are his fragmental part. Do you understand? In Taittiriya Upanishad says, Anando Brahmeti Vedanato, Ananda Deva Khallimani Bhutani Jayante, Anandeno Jatani Jivanti, Anandam Pradantavi Samvisanti is Ananda. Ananda means pleasure. In English you say pleasure, Ananda. Sachidananda is completely full with Ananda. That Supreme Personality Body, Krishna is completely full with Ananda, Sachidananda. Do you understand? So, this Taittiriya Upanishad, this mantra says the same thing. Ananda Brahmeti Vedanati, Ananda Deva Khallimani Bhutani Jayante, Anandena Jatani Jivanti, Ananda Prajantavi Samvisanti. That means, this Parabrahma is embodiment of Ananda, Ananda Swarup. Therefore, these bhutas, these living entities, they come out from that Ananda. They are fragmental part of that Anandamaya Swarup. Therefore, they are enlivened by that Ananda. Do you understand? Enlivened by that Ananda. Do you understand me? Sanjeevi. And at the time of complete annihilation, pralaya, they enter into that body of Mahavishnu. Do you understand? Complete annihilation, they also enter into that body. Do you understand? And if those who are fortunate and developed, who have understood their own Swarup and developed another devotion, they get him. They get him. Do you understand? That Anandamaya Swarup. They become constantly attached to him, thereby constantly in the, ocean of Ananda, and testing it. But those are conditioned souls, they cannot get. Though they enter at the complete annihilation time, they enter into the body of Mahavishnu, but they cannot attach to it. They remain unattached. At the time of next creation, they come out as they were. This is there. Do you understand? This is there. So from this you can understand how these varieties of manifestations are there. This Pancha Tattva, this is Tattva. Pancha Tattva ekavastu nahi kichu bhed. Rasa aswadita jo vivida vived. This is most important. There is no difference between these five tattvas, but because everything is absolute in this absolute platform, transcendental platform, yet there is varieties, spiritual world, to test the mellows. Test the mellows. Test the mellows. And Krishna, who is absolute truth, Advaya Tattva, Ekameva Ditya Nasti. Advaya means one. No second is there. Is known as absolute truth. Advaya Tattva. Do you understand? But there is two things, Shakti and Shaktiman. He is energetic. So, there is no difference between energetic and energy. No difference between energetic and energy. Shakti, Shaktiman, Abhinna. But Lila rasa aswadite dhare dui rupa. In order to taste his transcendental pastime, taste the mellows of his transcendental pastime, he manifested himself in two forms, energetic and energy. Shakti and Shaktiman. You understand? Deha bhedam gatau. One body becomes two. One body becomes two. That is Radha and Krishna. Energetic and energy. So, when they are in the form of Radha and Krishna, there is one body. And that means two bodies. That is Krishna and Radha. Radha and Krishna. Do you understand? And when they unite, it becomes Goura. The energetic and energy one in the body of Goura. Isn't it? Isn't it? Gauranga Mahaprabhu means Radha Krishna Militatanu. Two bodies become united. The body of Radha and the body of Krishna become united. That is Gaura. But when they are separate, two bodies, they are Radha and Krishna. This is Gaura Tattva. Here, it is here. Here it is said, Shaktiman, he has supreme will, Swechamaya Purus. Swechamaya Purus. Radha, Srimati Radharani, is Swarupa Shakti. Srimati Radharani is Swarup Shakti. Swarup Shakti means the energy. Shakti means energy who is not different from his Swarup. That is Swarup Shakti. Do you understand? These words are very significant words. Shakti, which is not different from the Swarup, is Swarup Shakti. And another meaning is there, Shakti that comes out from his Swarup is also Swarup Shakti. Do you understand me? Shakti, Shaktiman, Abhinna. There is no difference between energetic and energy. When he wills that I will become two, it is here said, in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad it is said, Savai naivaremehe tasma dekaki naramate sa dithiyam aichad sa hitavanas jatha stri pumang sau sang pariswaptahu sa ima mevatmanam dvedha apadayat tataha patischa patni cha bhavatang tasma didam ardha brugaramiva sma itiha smaho jagyavalkyaha tasmadaya makasa striha purjit. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says. That means Aditya, absolute truth, Parameshwara, Parabrahma, Purushottama is one. One. You understand? Ekaki, one. When he is one, he cannot get any pleasure. He cannot experience any pleasure. You understand? He cannot experience any pleasure when he is one. You understand? In other words, he cannot enjoy. You understand? He cannot enjoy. Because without the help or assistance of his pleasure potency, without the help of his pleasure potency, there is no question of enjoyment. You understand? There is no question of enjoyment at all. Without the help of his pleasure potency, pleasure giving, Ladini Shakti, Ananda, Ladini Shakti. So, he wanted to become two. He wants to become two. So he became two. Is energetic and energy. That is Shaktiman and Shakti. That is Krishna and Radha. Radha and Krishna. Shakti, Shaktiman. He became two. Deha bhedam gatau. That one body becomes two bodies now. That is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says. Hmm. So, ekibhuta, as ever it is said, jatha stri pumansang sang pariswaktahu. That means as husband and wife, they embrace each other very tightly. Do you understand? They seem to be as one body. Do you understand me? This is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Pung jatha stri pumansang sang pariswaktahu. Similarly, these two bodies, energetic and energy, they are tightly embraced each other. You understand? Embraced. Radha and Krishna. It is the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says. Ekibhuta bhava, that is like one, and one is embracing the other is very tightly. When they become two, then there are two bodies, that is Radha and Krishna, energy and energetic, Shakti Madhuswarupa and love and Shakti. This is known as Chinnira Mithuna. What you say in English? Divine couple. Chillira Mithuna, the divine couple. You say it, divine couple, Pragatita. And Yajnavalkya also says, is Iti hasmaha Yajnavalkyaha tasmadayam akasas yapurjet. Yajnavalkya says it is like the two petals. Is one seed divided into two parts. Seed is one, but two parts. In English, what you say? By? What is? Yes, that word is there. You understand? It's like that. Do you understand? Yes. Is that Yajnavalkya has said? Dvijol bijor tulya. Yajnavalkya says. So this is all there in Vedas. This is one thing is there, in order to enjoy, taste that mellow, such varieties are there. Such varieties are there. Otherwise, no need of such varieties is only one thing. Therefore, Rupa Goswami, Kaviraj Goswami says, Pancha Tattva ekavastu nahi kichu ved, rasa aswadite sabu vivida viveda. So this Pancha Tattva is only one, there is no difference. In order to taste this mellow humor, so different manifestations are there. Bhakta Rupa Surupakam, Bhakta Avatar Bhaktakyam, Bhakta Shaktikam. Only for taste the mellows. To manifest different leelas and taste it. And they are not selfish, they themselves taste and they also distribute it to others, to all living entities. They will taste it also. Because they are there on one minute part. And they want it. Otherwise they cannot get pleasure. How can the jivas get pleasure? They are always searching after it. So they distribute it. The Pancha Tattva came, they tested and they distributed it. Further, this chapter, whole chapter is dealt with this Pancha Tattva. The whole chapter, this 7th chapter. And Kaviraj Goswami will speak more and more about this Pancha Tattva. How they are distributing, how they are themselves enjoying and testing, and how they are distributing. Kaviraj Goswami will speak further. You understand? So, what you are asking, this is all in Vedas. You understand? And this is very subtle thing, very confident self-tattva. It's not an easy thing to understand. And this English language is not sufficient to express all these things. I face difficulty. One who can understand Sanskrit, he can understand it. Very difficult to express in English language. The language is not sufficient. You understand? So, Acharyas have not expressed. My Guru Maharaja, therefore, have not expressed such things. It's very difficult to express, difficult to make you understand these things. Why you say all these things? He said, as much as required. As much as required, he just said this thing. And he analyzed very nicely to understand this thing. Response tattva. Yeah, analyzed nicely. Very nicely, yeah, analyzed. And that is unique. No, Acharya has. This is very confidential, very subtle tattva. Because this is postgraduate study, this is not meant for neophytes, not for general public also. They cannot understand it. Those who make some advancement in this path of devotion, especially in rasa tattva, those who are very much inquisitive about understand rasa tattva, do you understand? Because they are the manifestation of rasa. Krishna is the source of all rasa, embodiment of all rasas. And Jiva's being is manifestation, minute part. So the Jivas are also minute rasas. Do you understand? So those who are very much inquisitive about the rasa tattva, for them it is the subject matter. It is not the subject matter for one and all. How can one and all understand this thing? So difficult matter. You understand? By bhajan, by sadhan bhajan, if you can make advancement, then there is a question of manifestation. It will be manifested before you. You can understand at that stage. This question of manifestation, realization and manifestation, nothing else. Nothing else. It's a question of realization and manifestation. You understand? So Jiva Goswami, Bhakti Sandarbha is there. He has written all these things because he is in power. He is the realized soul. So he wrote all these things. Rupa Goswami wrote. Jiva Goswami wrote. Rupa Goswami is the Rasacharya. He wrote a Rasa Shastra. You understand? Otherwise, nobody can understand this. Most confidential thing.